And Studio 3.
This is the room that a lot of the runners and assistants kind of get started in, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that's a lot of because this room in particular, when we go out into the live room, it's an embrace the bleed room. There is no isolation in here. You need to know how to not over mic it, but still get what you need.
Yeah.
And this desk, this is a Trident A range. I love this console.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She'll abuse you if you don't treat her right.
Sure.
But these EQs in particular are not scalpels.
Yeah.
They are tone sledgehammers.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're not going to be able to pick out 500 hertz and just knife it out.
Yeah.
No, you're going to get it's got a wide Q, so you're going to get a lot of that out. So if you need to cut the bottom end, you can do that or boost it. But you're not going to just, do major surgery with that. It forces you to go move the mic or change the mic, which you should have done anyway before reaching for the EQ.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, this is a super fun room. I think in some circumstances to, someone who doesn't know any better, this room gets overlooked.
Frequently.
So it'll get booked maybe less frequently than like a 2 or a 1 in some circumstances because people come in, they see the console and they go, what? Mm-hmm. What is that?
Mm-hmm. But those that embrace it find that they really, really love it.
Dude, it is so killer.
Beautiful sounding desk.
And you can do the distortion on the pre thing, and it's really punchy.
There's a
cool.
sweet spot to it. Yeah.
I pegged out doing some guitars, like fully pegged out Jack White, like just distortion on a guitar amp, and it's really hard to replicate.
Yeah.
Sounds really good. 40 channels, 24 returns. Monitor section's cool. It's got its own EQ, and this is actually a pretty great room to mix in as well. Got the Flying Faders 2 system, or is it 2?
Flying Faders 1.
Flying Faders 1 system, and obviously another beautiful selection of outboard gear here.
Toys.
It's nice that there's like a good consistency between Pultecs, the Langs, which I think sometimes also get overlooked, but sound amazing. LA2s, 1176s, the Compex is killer. Great for just murdering room mics. And then this is a Neve like stereo bus, right?
33609.
SPL, a bunch of DBXs. I love them. Yeah, the DBXs are killer. The stressors. And then also what's cool is since this is a Trident A range, you have an extra bucket of Neve 1081s.
Yeah.
So you have 8 channels of 1081s here, which are nice because they have the extra EQ band. It's a 5-band, right?
Yeah, and it's a convenient thing as well. So we have 2 Neves in the other rooms.
Yep.
And if you're coming over here to do punches or fixes or some overdubs, you can kind of keep the same, very, very close to the same chain.
And then we got the Burl Mothership in here as well. I think that's new since I've left.
I think we put that in just before the pandemic.
That's awesome. It's a tight, snug control room, but some magical records have been made in here.
Oh yes.
Like,
for
instance.
Well, actually, let's head out there and discuss them.
There's a little bit of a meme about one of the records that was made here.
So this room was the center of the Laurel Canyon scene in the 60s. So Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, Mamas and Papas, Monday Monday, and California Dreamin', Scott McKenzie, San Francisco.
Yep.
But Lou Adler loved this room. And I think the story behind that kind of was, Studio One was for serious music. That's where we did Frank Sinatra and all that stuff.
Yeah.
These kids in there rocking, put them in the small room. It's just these kids in this rock and roll. Just put them over there.
Yeah.
But they loved this room. And this has been the most attempted to be copied room in the world, I believe. I can't prove that, but I know a lot of people have tried.
So, one, Beach Boys did Pet Sounds in here. The Wrecking
You see this
Crew.
piano?
Yeah.
Used in Pet Sounds.
Really?
You see that mic stand? They used it in Pet Sounds.
Oh yeah. I was like, wait a second.
But actually, yes, this piano was used in Pet Sounds.
Wow. So this is a Steinway D. It is a
Steinway B.
B?
B.
Oh, I always thought it was a
The D is the bigger one, I believe.
Oh, interesting. This thing sounds magical. It is
I fucking love this piano.
dark, warm, just
Clear,
fantastic. Sounds great in this room too, because it's, you know, just a unique sounding room as well. You got a lot of the carpet, the pegboard thing around the bottom. These diffusers again are so cool. Also, I love whatever design this is, where it's like plywood with a panel on it, kind of staggered around the room. You have this crazy design on the back wall with, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Me either. But it's also, I mean, the other part about the acoustics is not necessarily what's on the wall.
Yeah.
It's the space behind the wall as well.
Oh, yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah. And the ceiling and everything. So they actually made a movie called Love and Mercy, which tells the story of Brian Wilson and making Pet Sounds and the Beach Boys and all that. And they literally shot it in this room. And what was the actor's name who played him?
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano. And they booked out the whole building for like
Yeah,
a
well,
month
because
or
they
something.
made Studio One, the live room, look like
Gold Star?
Gold Star and Columbia. You can imagine with Pet Sounds, there was like 20 musicians, all shoehorned into this room.
Oh yeah.
So that's, once again, a very much an embrace the bleed situation, where you don't need to over mic it, but you got to make it work for you. And that's why if you go and listen to that record, it sounds kind of cacophonous, because there's a little bit of everything and everything.
Yep.
And you make that work for you. That's the art of engineering.
Another cool thing about this building, which maybe we can go and check out next, is there are original chambers
Chambers and plates.
that are almost guaranteed on that record that they used, piped in, that are literally built into the structure of this building.
What it essentially was I have a room sound on this record. I need to have another room sound. So I'm going to take this signal, pump it over into another room that has a speaker in it, play it through that speaker, have a mic to pick up that room, and blend it back in.
Yeah. And then one of the great things Doug Rogers, who owns Eastwest, did.
He saved the building and overhauled all the non-acoustic spaces. He left the studios as they were, because you could repaint the Mona Lisa, but would you make it better?
Yeah. But then he also created samples and a plugin called Spaces. I think it's Spaces 2.
And did impulse responses of the rooms.
Of the rooms, the chambers, the plates, all from this place.
And they sound amazing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, if you pipe into one of the, I don't remember which chamber it is, but like the left and the right were a little bit off. If you use the plugin, it's the same.
It's the same. And that's you know, you want to capture, you know, the magic.
Yeah.
And the magic is that slight imperfection.
Man, I'm so happy we get to do this.
Right?